rules that govern the election.
Mr. Clement.
If it were after the election, how would that play out?
So
In other
I
words,
think,
if the litigation over issues like this were funneled to post-election.
well, there's a couple ways to think about that. One analytical way to think about that is, I would say, no matter what the margin of victory is, if there are ballots that under Congressman Bost's theory were illegally counted, I think he would have standing to bring the challenge. Now, the courts might want to apply in the post-election context.
What's the remedy? Does the court there, and this is, I think, blends into your concern about post-election, but I just want to play it out. So let's say the losing candidate sues challenging this rule, and let's say the court finds it post-election, finds it illegal. And we faced this in 2020 in some of our many cases pre-election. What's the remedy?
Well,
do you throw out those votes? Because if you do, some of those voters might say, oh, I actually would have voted earlier if I had known. I'm just trying to figure out how that would play out.
So I think that would be the right remedy, and I think that's kind of a nightmare scenario for exactly the reason that you point out. And I don't think there's any reason for the standing rules to basically say that you have to decide all these issues in those nightmare scenarios, or even in the very closest districts. And the point I was trying to make is, like, if you think about this case proceeding past the pleading standard, the idea that you would have like competing experts come in and say, you know, Congressman Bost is kind of a lousy candidate, so this one's going to be pretty close. And that would be my expert, because I'd have to show that the election is close in order to have standing. And then they'd come in, and their expert would say, no, Congressman Bost is the best candidate there's ever been. He's going to win this thing in a landslide.
But would you agree to a rule like